Good morning, beloveds. So it's going to be a wash today. It's going to rain all day. And I was hoping to get the walk in. And as we were getting ready, I hadn't actually gotten the walk uniform on, but I was, in the process of it, I heard it. The rain moved in. So I did not get my walk in this morning. So instead, I tackled my Renaissance closet. Because everybody has one of those, right? No, what we did was we pulled everything off the floor out of the closet, everything off the shelf out of the closet, and then pulled everything out of the closet that was not Renaissance fair clothing. And then I rearranged the clothing. So my brother has a stash of clothes at my house. He lives in Indiana, but it's his Renaissance clothes. So all of his clothes are together on one side. We've got all of the outerwear, cloaks and things on one side. Tom's clothes are all together. My clothes are all together. So, and now this room is messy and it's been cleaned since my brother has been here. Because I didn't put anything back in the closet yet because we need to vacuum the floor. And some of it's not going to go back in. Some of it is going to go somewhere else. So, yeah. I had a productive morning for all the fact that I didn't get to go for a walk. Now, we have an interesting exercise today. I don't know what this is going to look like. Mostly because, this is what it looks like. But it is January 8th. And this is from Mary Baker Eddy. This could be really interesting. So, in New Thought, kind of one of the earliest New Thought in America was Phineas Parker Quimby. Phineas Parker Quimby had tuberculosis. And they were like, there's nothing we can do for you. And so he would go for long walks with his horse, and carriage rides, because apparently the cold air was supposed to be helpful. And he kind of went, you know what, there's got to be a better way to do this. And so he is kind of where the idea of treatment started, praying in the present tense and things like that. And he healed himself. And so one of the people that came to him was Mary Baker Eddy. She is the founder of Christian Science. Now, if you go to a Christian Science church, they're very, she was, I hate to use the word cult of personality, but that's what it is. Because they read from Mary Baker Eddy's book, they read from the Bible, and it's exactly the same. Like if you go into any Christian site, they're going to do the same readings, and there's maybe not a whole lot of discussion. Like Mary Baker Eddy would not let you deviate from the material, and they still don't. Now, Christian Science has an excellent record of healing. They are very good at healing treatment. Emma Curtis Hopkins was Mary Baker Eddy's student, just as Mary Baker Eddy had been Phineas Parker Quimby's. I don't want to say student, but she went to him for healing, and so that's what she came away and went, hey, I can do this. But Emma went away and she still called herself Christian Science, but what she did was different than what Mary Baker Eddy did. Now, Emma Curtis Hopkins taught Ernest Holmes, along with the Fillmores and some other people. I think she even may have taught the Brooks, Fanny and Nona, who founded Divine Science. So, but Mary Baker Eddy is interesting. And with that run up, we're going to see what she has to say about the Lord's Prayer. Okay? January 8th, the Lord's Prayer, as interpreted by Mary Baker Eddy. And this is from Science and Health, 1875. All right. So the first line is, Our Father, which art in heaven, which she interprets as Our Father, Mother, God, all harmonious. Hallowed be thy name, adorable one. Thy kingdom come, thou art ever present. Thy will be done in earth as it is in heaven. Enable us to know, as in heaven, so on earth, God is omnipotent, supreme. Give us this day our daily bread. Give us grace for today. Feed the famished affections. And forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. And love is reflected in love. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. And God leadeth us not into temptation, but deliver us from sin, disease, and death. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory forever. For God is infinite, all power, all life, truth, love over all and all. Okay. I grew up Catholic. There was a time that I could recite the Lord's Prayer at a drop of the hat. I probably still can. It's very well ingrained in me. But recently there has been a push to do a couple of things. One, to go back to the original Aramaic. Okay? Because the English translation that we have, it's been translated from Aramaic to Greek to, Latin to all the other. And every time that you translate something, it loses something. So one of the things that people have done recently, and you should be able to Google it. Although I know on our YouTube channel we have somebody do it in the Aramaic, but I don't remember if he has the translation from Aramaic to English. But if you want to read the Lord's Prayer, it says something completely different when you look at the Aramaic to English translation rather than the translation that we have that's been through several languages. It's a little different and it's interesting. Mostly because it's a little more expansive and some of the ideas are different. And so what Mary Baker Eddy is doing is the same thing. She didn't go back to the original Aramaic. What she's doing is that she's translating the Lord's Prayer into New Thought language. Okay? New Thought language. Such as, Our Father who art in heaven. Well, we in New Thought don't believe that God has a gender. Okay? Because we don't believe God is a personality. We believe that if everyone is created in the image of God, then God has to be both male and female. Or neither. I tend to default onto the neither. And it also speaks to people who've had difficulties in their relationships with their fathers. It's one of the reasons why I tend to be more gender neutral. Because I know people who've had difficult relationships with their father, and I know people who have had difficult relationships with their mother. That's one of the things that Jesse was talking about yesterday. If you've had if you grew up in a home where the father figure was abusive, then the last thing you're going to do is trust a male-centered God. It's like, my father in my home, not me personally, abused me. Whatever that looks like. I'm not speaking from my experience here. I'm generalizing, just so you know. Although I did have a difficult relationship growing up with my father, which is one of the reasons why I'm gender neutral. So, you're not going to trust a God that is, it's like, oh, so now you want me to turn my spiritual life over to a bigger version of the father that abused me? No. So that's one of the things that people have. I made a comment about triggering words recently, and that's what I'm talking about. Triggering words, because if you had a difficult relationship with your mother, if you had a difficult relationship with your father, then when you go to do a prayer that has one of those trigger words into you, can you get into it? So that's what Mary Baker Eddy was doing. She took the Lord's Prayer because it is a valuable tool. It is an extraordinarily valuable tool. And she relanguaged it in a way that made sense to her and the people that she was teaching. Okay? And we're allowed to do that. We are allowed to do that. As long as we keep the gist of it, what is the purpose of this prayer, then we can change words that do not resonate with us. And that is what she is doing. It's one of those things where when, like yesterday, whoever, I don't remember it was Fanny Brooks. She wrote all of those affirmations. Well, here's the thing. If you want to use her affirmations in the body of your treatment, then fantastic. She would love that. But she would also tell you that if one of her words or several of her words didn't resonate with you, either leave them out or change them. Okay? Religion isn't set in stone. Okay? The people who are very invested in the power and the money of religion want you to believe that it is set in stone, but it is not. Spirituality is the relationship between you and the source of your being, which is one of the words we use is God. Jesse has settled on the divine nature, which I think is fantastic. Because God can be a very triggering word for a lot of people. So the divine nature, the divine pattern, the divine idea, the divine mind, the universe. Atman, I think, is Egyptian. So if we use a word that's triggering for you, but everything else we say is of value, then all we want to do is encourage you to change the triggering word. The Lord's Prayer is an extraordinarily valuable tool. If it wasn't, it wouldn't have hung around for as long as it has. Right? Okay. But if some of the words don't resonate with you, you have the right to change them. You have the absolute right to change them so that you can use this extraordinarily valuable tool that's been around for however many hundreds of years, and definitely into the thousands of years. You have the right to change them so that it resonates and works for you. It is a tool. Make it fit you. And that should be the way it is with anything in religion. Religion is, all of these prayers and treatments and these books, they are tools. And we as the operators of these tools have the right to fit them to our spiritual lives. Okay? And sometimes that's what causes us to leave the religions of our childhood, because we found a tool, we adapted it to ourselves. That is what we do as human beings. I have an archaeology degree to tell you that. We use tools, we fit tools to how we use them. And when somebody comes up to us and says that we're wrong, and yet it's working for us, why are we going to stay in that? We're not. And that's one of the reasons why there are so many religions all over the world. So, Ernest didn't intend to start his own religion. What Ernest did was Ernest went, hey, you know what? Jesus has this really interesting way of praying. Let's try that. And what his intention was you come to us. We'll teach you how to do that. You take it back to your faith. Well, the problem is people came to him, learned how to do it, maybe tried to take it back to their faith, and their faith went, no, if you don't do it our way, you're wrong. And so they came back to Ernest and said, well, we don't fit there anymore. And Ernest said, fine, we'll make a place for you here. That's how religions start. We don't call ourselves a religion. The government calls us a religion. We call ourselves a philosophy. We call ourselves a spiritual psychology. We call ourselves a spiritual teaching. And the whole goal is to never get stuck in stone. So the Lord's Prayer is a very valuable tool. If you can do it the way it was written. But like I said, go back to the original Aramaic, get the translation from the original Aramaic. It's very different. It's very different. And if Mary Baker Eddy's version of it fits you, take it. Take it. Take it. Please do. You want to use words that resonate with you, that mean something to you. Please try. And like I said, the Lord's Prayer is a very valuable tool. I use it, but I use different words. So I commend that to you. All right. The mission today, should you choose to accept it. I encourage you to look at the Lord's Prayer and find the words that don't resonate with you and change them. If you cannot do that or aren't willing to do that, then look for the English translation from the Aramaic of the Lord's Prayer. It's out there. It will blow you away. All right. That's the mission today, should you choose to accept it. The other mission is the same mission I give you every day, which is to do something loving for yourself, do something kind for yourself, do something compassionate for yourself. Be it one thing, be it three things. Doesn't matter. Point is to practice on yourself. I didn't get to go for my walk today, so my loving, kind, and compassionate thing was to clean out a closet because it needs to happen, and it did. Now the room is messy, so now I got to get the everything's got to be gone through and decide it needs new homes, and some of it may be out of my own. That is a loving, kind, and compassionate thing you can do for yourself. Gabby, what you talking about? She's standing in the doorway. She's 18 years old. Okay. You want to talk about loving, kind, and compassionate? She's very clear about what she wants. So, some other suggestions: take a deep breath before you speak, especially to yourself, but to everybody else. It's easier to not say it than to try and take it back. And, if you hear yourself speaking to yourself in such a way that is not healthy, do something about that. I went to therapy when I heard my own self-talk. I was like, this is not okay. I encourage you to take a walk, take a nap, take a break. Walk, the exercise to get the blood flowing. Sometimes you just need to walk away from whatever it is you're doing for a little while, which is also the take a break. If you're stuck, then take a break and go do something else. While you're letting that rest, your solution may just naturally rise to the surface. And then take a nap. None of us get enough sleep. So I'm a big believer in naps. I took 2 very good naps, one on Saturday, one on Sunday. There are plenty of other suggestions. I'm just giving you a jumping off point. I want to remind you that joy is a quality of God. Therefore, joy is a quality of you. No matter what is going on in the world, no matter what is going on in your life, you still deserve joy. Please make room for it. I also like to say eat dessert first. Don't worry, I wasn't going to forget that. What I mean by that is don't save the good stuff. That's one of the things. I have a box that I'm looking at, and I literally haven't opened that box in probably 10 years. We've been in this house 15 years. Maybe. No, probably longer than that. And I don't know what's in that box. Is there anything in that box that I need? I don't know. I'm going to find out. Maybe I'm saving what's in that box for a special occasion. Well, you know what? My life is a special occasion. I'm going to get it out and use it now. So that's what I'm talking about. Don't save the good stuff. Your life is a special occasion. If you are saving something for a special occasion, then make an occasion special. All right? Don't save the good stuff. All right. The rest of the suggestions are the basic easy ones. Do something to engage your mind and your body unless the rain forces you to rest. Drink plenty of water. Hydration is important. You know how I feel about that. Your brain works better, your body works better, your skin looks better when you are well hydrated. I also want to encourage you to get early in your day bright light. Since it is raining and I did not get any sun, I am making do with artificial light. If the light in your house is not bright enough, then Google seasonal effect disorder light lamps or sun lamps. It's the darker part of the year, so I just want to remind you those options are out there. You have a natural hormone balance called a circadian rhythm. That is what that light stimulates. Between 7 and 9 in the morning, the sun apparently hits the earth at a particular angle that's good for stimulating vitamin D. It's only 5 to 10 minutes. Try it. You might like it. You'll have more energy during the day. You'll sleep better at night. All right. And then the last suggestion is my Ernest Holmes quote, open the windows of your soul. Allow the breath of heaven to remind you, you do live in heaven right here, right now. It is all around us all the time because it's all God. And if you are not in awe, you're not paying attention. All right. Heaven is not as our author a couple of days ago said, heaven isn't a locality. It is not a place that we have to get to. It is a state of mind. Oh, I just realized I put the wrong year up there. This is 2024. I'll have to fix that. It's a place. It's not a place. It's a mindset. It's a state of consciousness. Once you realize that, heaven can become any place you are. And one of the easiest ways to get to that mindset is to look for the good and praise it. Okay? Gratitude will get you anywhere. Look for the good is another way of saying count your blessings. And I love looking at the little good. All of the little things that add up to the big goods in my life. One of the little goods right now is the cat next to me on the hot pad. We have 3 hot pads for the cats, and there almost always a cat on them right now. It's that time of year. It makes me happy. That's all it takes. Start there. Okay. So we are Creative Life Spiritual Center, Creative Life Spark. I'm the Running Rev Ryan on the social medias that I am on. I thoroughly encourage you to check all of that out. We try and put up as much bright, funny, enlightening, helpful content as we can. Although we're real people with real jobs, so. But the YouTube channels, both of the YouTube channels have plenty of content. I did say I was the Running Rev Ryan, because that's my YouTube channel. That's where I archive these. So if you want to see what I've been doing for the last 4 years, go to that channel. There's also fantastic, all of it, we've, especially since COVID, but slightly pre-COVID, we'd gotten Jesse to agree to go online. So we were putting the services up. So there's about 4 years. And one of these days we will get around to learning how to put all of the talks that he's got archived up on YouTube. We just have to add pictures to them. So, because, they're not videos. They're MP3s. Got to make them MP4s. So that's, coming projects. All right. Where was I? I guess I'm at the part. Oh, no, I'm going to remind you. If you want to know what's going on with the center, email info@creativelife.org. That is our constant contact. It's a real person doing it. You won't be bombarded. It's 1 email a week, but the hot links are hot. Click here now. We'll take you right to the information you want or to the person that can help you get it. All right. Deep breath. And I'm going to remind you to have, I'm going to encourage you to have a great day, a wondrous day, a fantastic day, a magical day, an enchanted day, a wonderful day, an awesome day, an amazing day, a change the words day, a get your week started day, a go dance in the rain day, a prepare for the weather day, a you got this day, a good day. And if that is too much pressure, simply have a day. You are enough, just as you are. You're a beloved child of God in whom God is well pleased and well represented. Always. All right? Explore the truth of your being. I call you a brilliant light, a divine spark, spirit in motion, God in action. And Reverend Jesse calls you a godling. Okay? Explore the truth of your being. Get to know who God knows you to be. Peel back the layers of everything you've been told you are and get to know who God knows you to be. I can promise you one thing. The person God knows you to be is good and probably pretty cool. All right? So, get to know that person. All right. Where was I? I'm going to remind you, Reverend David should be on around 5 p.m. with you. I'll be back with you around 9 a.m. tomorrow. Take care of yourself. Know that you are loved, and I will see you next time.